Hey.
For another reactionary video, I guess we'll call it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Reaction
We're
videos.
really new to this whole YouTube thing, but this is our second reaction. We did Ghost Adventures the first time, but our other Patreon, Teresa, asked us to check out some ring cam footage. So we
Yes.
thought we would do that.
We watch a lot of YouTube and we
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of different ones of these,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the ring cams, and a lot of them can be really creepy
To say the
or
least.
just strange.
And I already seen what the first scene in this one is going to be, and you're
Ugh.
gonna love it. It's gonna be right up your alley. If you got through the first video with all of its pixelated glory, then you'll kind of catch on when you see when you
Oh
say,
man, I
"I
already
can't,
know.
oh, I can't
I
wait,
already know.
I can't wait." So,
Hmm.
what do you say? Let's get into it.
Well, now I don't want to.
Oh, we got to.
Oh.
This first video was captured in the middle of the night at an apartment complex in Toledo, The doorbell footage shows a man knocking on the front door with what looks like a firearm in his waistband. Now, the owner of the apartment didn't recognize the man, so she would question who it was. The unknown man would simply respond with "It's me." The homeowner would then further question his response, but rather than clarifying, he would simply give away through the front door. However, it would not be enough to get the homeowner to open it, so you would ultimately walk off. Disturbingly, as he does so, a second man pops up from a nearby dumpster and also walks off. But this wouldn't be the end of it.
What would you do? Because the guy in the video says it's a woman.
Right. Oh, I 100% would never, ever, ever, ever open the door.
You
I don't
know,
even know if I would answer the ring cam.
you know where to go in the house if
Yes.
you need
Yes, I
to.
do. I definitely do.
I just couldn't imagine.
Oh my
Even
God.
like I don't think it matters if you're a man or a woman. This would be
No.
frightening.
So friggin'
Did
scary.
they say
So
what? Did they
scary.
even say like what time this was?
It was definitely dark for
See,
sure.
I assumed that this video was going to be more paranormal based,
So did I.
which we're gonna react to this either way because it's interesting. Um, I don't know how I would feel about this one.
I honestly, I don't even know if I would answer the ring cam, and like good for her for like doing so, but I honestly don't know if I would.
And I assume that the thumbnail was going to be the first video, so you're
Oh,
gonna have to
great.
hold
Now I
on.
get to wait.
Yeah, you get to hold out. Let's let's go back to this and check the rest of this out.
The two would then walk around to the back door, where they would attempt to pick its lock. The police were called, and when they arrived, the two were gone. Fortunately, unsuccessful in getting the door open. It's not 100% clear what the 2 men planned. The almost empty looking backpack at the first guy suggests they had planned to rob the place. But it's also possible they had much worse intentions. The two of them have yet to be identified by police.
I would say it's very obvious that they were planning to rob the place.
Yeah. And after not answering the ring cam, or I would, I don't know. But once they walked around to the back of the house, I would absolutely go where I know I need to go in the house to you know, grab something.
You know why people here don't do that?
Why?
Because then somebody might pop from around the corner and be like, "Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior?" Let's
Oh my god.
get on with the video.
The homeowner in Texas would wake up one morning to find the gate into his backyard wide open. Curious, the man would review the cameras he had around his house, and this is the sign he was met with.
watched that video.
A man holding a knife and in a clown costume, complete with the suit and mask, casually walks around the property, looking inside the house and testing all the doors. This will, of course,
I don't even need to ask you how you feel about this because I know that this would be like the purest form of your nightmare.
I literally have tears in my eyes just watching this.
You know,
I can't. I can't.
do I think it's paranormal? No, I think it's psychotic. And I think it's funny because we were like there was like this epidemic of
Oh, the
the clown
clown
people.
craze.
Yeah,
Yes.
and like I think somebody got shot doing it and then it stopped.
Oh,
But do you know that there's like this weird theory out there that this is paranormal and
the
that
clown thing?
if you look it up, supposedly this happens like every 70 years or something.
Oh, God.
So there are people who do believe this is, I don't know, demonic or paranormal or something to that nature. But I have seen, which are probably staged, if I think about it, but I have seen some super creepy clown footage.
I no.
Like there is one, I don't know if it's on here. Well, it won't be because it's not ring cam, but it's like somebody flying a drone through a cornfield, and as
Oh, and they're just like out there.
they're like out in the woods line.
Mm-mm.
It's insane.
It's that needs to never happen again.
Well, we've
Literally
got
needs like you turn on the news and they're just like, oh, new clown
when was
sightings.
this? This was probably around the time we met.
Yeah,
So
like early, not
in about 60
like
years. We've got about 60 years. We'll just say 60 years.
probably like 2010, 12,
I said
13.
around when we met.
take place in 2016 during that sort of killer clown craze that went on for a few months. Looking back, most people that participated in that were most likely just having fun trying to scare people. But there's no denying that others took advantage of the situation, genuinely attempting some pretty horrific crimes hidden under a clown mask, with this likely being one of those cases. It's clear the person in the costume is actually trying to break into the house with a knife.
Who would think that this is fun?
Psychos,
There is,
psychotic people.
there is, I don't understand what people would think is fun about this because you're not only putting other people's lives in danger because you're probably crazy, but you're putting your own life in
Your
danger.
own, absolutely.
You try this stuff like in Florida or like Mississippi, Alabama,
Texas,
Louisiana,
like
like you will get shot.
100%.
You
Oh
you
my God,
yeah, it's don't do this. If you're a younger person watching this and you think this is cool, it's not. Don't do it. You will
never.
get hurt.
Yeah, usually that and it's medical. This is fun. You should make more.
Though after being unsuccessful, the clown would eventually walk off, and despite a police report, that would be the end of it. Ultimately, the homeowner would be left with nothing but this disturbing footage. This footage was captured in Colorado in the middle of the night. The issue three mountain lions appearing from the darkness and starting to walk around a set of houses. They were captured even going as far as to walk up onto the porch of one of the houses. Mountain lion sightings are known to be exceptionally rare in this specific area. Typically, they'll stay a lot further in the mountains where they have easier access to the deer that they prey on. To see them in an area with a lot of people, especially in the neighborhood, is not at all common, at least in this area. The three cans would eventually walk off, but there are almost no doubt things would have gone differently had one of these homeowners left their pets outside for the night.
This to me is insane because we live in an area
Yep.
where mountain lions are possible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't imagine, because we live in an area about as populated as this, I guess, maybe
Uh-huh.
even a little more, but I would not know how to fathom the idea of seeing three, not one, because I'm pretty sure you
Right.
usually see one,
Just like a rogue one, like,
a three.
oh my God, I couldn't. Like, we can literally drive 7 minutes and we're at the bottom of a mountain.
Yeah, but this is terrifying to me. This
Oh,
this to me is scarier than the clown.
no.
The clown I could beat up. This I can't take.
Oh, no.
There's just no way.
I'd take mountain lions over clowns.
You're
I'm
out of your
just
mind.
saying.
You're out of your
I'm
mind.
just
You
saying.
don't get to talk anymore.
Oh,
Shown in the video is a nearby active house fire. The home of the neighborhood just across the street has been completely engulfed in flames. As the fire department arrives, neighbors can be seen desperately moving their parked cars away from the house. Eventually, a flaming piece of debris can be seen falling and landing on a set of bushes just in front of the camera. The bushes quickly burst into flames. The fire starts spreading quickly, but before it's able to get out of hand, a neighbor notices it and attempts to put it out. He grabs a garden hose and sprays the fire while pressing the house's doorbell. However, the owner of the house isn't home and frantically tries to communicate this through the doorbell speaker.
The guy in this video, he deserves a medal,
a freaking hero.
because without him, her house probably, maybe not burnt down, but it definitely would have.
Done a
It would have done
whole
damage.
lot of damage.
This
Oh my God.
these videos here aren't exactly what I was expecting. However, these are like adult scary.
Yes.
You know,
like real life
like
situation scary.
people showing up at your house in the middle of the night, maybe there to hurt you, or your house burning down, like mountain lions.
Yeah.
These are like the things that I think of now as a grown up.
Yeah. Yes. And can I just say, fire is one of the most terrifying things
How would you know?
ever.
Is it because we almost burnt our house down?
Maybe. Maybe.
This isn't the
So scary
this
though.
is the
But
time.
like, that was across the street and it jumped that quick.
It's
That quick just by having something
very,
fly.
very fortunate that that man happened to be there
Oh man.
and thought quick and
Yeah.
put that fire out.
In
So
like 2005 in Florida, I think was all the fires where I lived. And I remember we were driving on one of the only roads out of the town we lived in. And down both sides of the road is just trees and forest. And it was all on fire. And we had to drive through it.
Grissom,
Yep, to get out.
if
And
you're from Florida and you know the area, comment below.
it was so scary. So, so, so scary.
Yeah,
And I was like,
some of the trees there, you can tell.
I was like 17, 18.
And then
Like,
aren't some of them sideways from hurricanes too?
yep. Oh, yeah. Like the
Ugh.
trees down that way are just mangled
Why
over
did
the
why
years.
did we live in Florida? We should have left
I
way
know.
sooner.
I know.
In the end, the fire department would be able to put out the house fire and, with help from the neighbors, prevent it from spreading to nearby houses.
He's a hero.
This video was posted
Yeah.
by Doorbell News in September of 2022. This video shows a man knocking on the door at 3 a.m. He pounds on the door multiple times. This guy needs some help, but it's 3 in the morning and he needs to go away. He asks the homeowner to come to the door and talk to him.
Excuse me, miss. Can
Can you come talk to me, please? There was no reply from the homeowner. The guy went into the street and started looking for a lift. Then he comes again and starts pounding on the door. He gets aggressive and starts yelling. The homeowner called the police. I don't know what he was looking for, but it was bizarre behavior.
This is another one of those just no. But he almost sounded like he could have been in trouble. I'm not saying open your door, but
No, but uh, and I get like if you're in trouble or you're in like a panic state or something happened, like
mm,
being aggressive going to someone's
it's
door
not
is
the way to go.
not the way to
The only
handle
people that
that.
works for Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
Gotta get them Thin Mints,
Buy
dude.
my cookies.
Some Samoas. I
I
love
can't
them.
eat them.
I can, and they're magical in
Thin
your mouth.
Mints. Thin Mints are my jam. I love Thin Mints.
You know, I do like them, but never mind. This isn't. We're not endorsed by Girl Scout cookies,
No, we're not.
but this is another one of those where it's scary for, I mean, the obvious reason, because
Yeah.
somebody is trying to get into your house.
And also at the very beginning, like it said that she didn't answer, but he immediately said, "Ma'am, I need you to help me." Like, so did he know who was in there?
Oh, that's a good point. This is, that's a good point.
Did he know?
Man,
That's crazy.
you're smart for a blonde girl.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're pretty too. All right, let's get back to the video.
Historical footage was recorded just before 4:00 a.m. on a night in August 2020. The video captures an unidentified man walking in front of a house and emptying a gas container over the yard and front porch. Shortly after he disappears off screen, a large fire erupts just in front of the camera.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is insane.
Who does that?
Dude,
Who does that?
Arsons. There's a whole category for them, but I mean, come on. This is crazy.
Like, I need more context to this.
There's probably no more. All right, you want more context? He lit their house on fire with a gas can.
But like, did he know him? Was there beef? Like, what?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Like, why would you go there?
Let's find out.
Why?
Let's find out.
Okay.
Let's see if they say something. Maybe they know each other.
Maybe.
No one would be injured during the incident, however. Unfortunately, 2 houses and a vehicle would be damaged. The homeowner would claim to have no idea who could be responsible or who would even consider
There's
doing
your
this to
answer.
them.
They don't even know who
At
he
least
is.
from an outside perspective, the act looks completely random with seemingly no reason behind it, making the clip all the more unsettling.
Unsettling.
On a night in September of 2021, a homeowner would get a suspicious knock on his door at about 3:00 in the morning. Upon opening his phone and looking at his doorbell camera, he would see 2 would look like teenagers identifying themselves as CPD or Columbus Police Department.
Did he say that they identified themselves as police department?
Yep, they did. They sure did.
Interesting. Very interesting. Like, bro, you weren't even good at hiding.
We need to ask you a couple questions.
The video shows the man in the front clearly holding a firearm, and the house sitter would eventually access the doorbell camera speaker to further question him.
Can I help you? CPD, we need to ask you a couple questions. I'm sorry? CPD, we need to ask you a couple questions. May you please step to the front door, please? CPD? Yes, this is CPD. We would like you to step to the door, please. Can I see a badge? We would like you to step to the door, please, sir. I don't have to show you a badge, sir.
The man refuses to show a badge because, well, Obviously, he doesn't have
Yeah,
one.
clearly.
The
Mm.
homeowner knew what was going on, so rather than stepping to the door, he would call the real police department and report 2 armed men at his front door. After a couple of minutes,
Is it CPD?
Yeah,
Cincinnati
maybe,
Police Department?
maybe.
You know, not that I've ever said anything out of pocket about Cincinnati.
Oh,
How it's a beautiful, wonderful city where Franklin Castle is located. I don't ever want to say anything terrible
gorgeous,
about
lovely.
the beloved Cincinnati. But if you live there, I'm sure you already know the deal.
And this is another thing too that's like super scary. First of all, yes, if a civilian asks you to show your badge,
I feel like this happens a lot,
you
though.
have to show your badge. Just saying. But yeah, like you're trying to do what? But you're claiming you're the police.
This happens so often that is almost like its own category of people falsely identifying as police online, and it's not always for such nefarious reasons.
Right.
Sometimes it's like young kids who want to be cops, so they pretend to be cops.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of stuff like this, and this is scary. But this
So
guy
scary.
was very smart,
Yes.
and he could have tried to been a tough guy and open the door, but he said, "Let me see your badge,"
Mhm.
and that, sir, you're a smart guy.
Yeah.
You're a smart guy.
Absolutely.
the 2 would once again attempt to get the homeowner to open the door. But after that failed, and they would run off before the real police could show up.
CPD, open the door.
The 2 were most likely just looking to rob the man when he opened the door. But I mean, it's possible they had worse intentions in mind. There's just no way of knowing for sure. Both of them were never identified by police.
And good on him for never finding out.
In May
Yeah.
of 2018,
Wow.
a woman would leave her parts car that was just outside her house unlocked overnight. Not surprisingly, someone would find the unlocked car and proceed to steal multiple items that were owned by the woman. A few hours later, the man responsible for the theft would be caught on the woman's doorbell camera attempting to use her set of keys that he had just stolen to unlock her house's front door.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Now, this is a scenario that almost has to be a little more scary than all the other ones because they said he
Yeah.
stole her keys. So
Yeah.
how this seems personal,
Yes, it does.
because he knows where she lives, has her keys. This feels very wrong to me.
Not only is he coming up to the door, trying to get in the house and being super creepy at whatever time of night, but he has her keys.
Yeah, he stole them.
Stole them out of her vehicle and went up to the house and
As
is now trying to get in.
as a man in 2024 with a very beautiful wife, I very much worry about stuff like this.
Oh, so scary.
This all took place while a house owner was home and sleeping, but luckily the set of keys he had stolen didn't have a house key on it, so the guy just ended up walking off.
Did you just touch my chair?
I didn't. I was literally sitting right here. I didn't do anything.
The back of my chair just like vibrated. Like, I'm serious. It was like,
What?
yeah.
Hello?
We've been having a lot of strange occurrences happen in our basement lately.
Yeah, just in the basement. I don't know what's
You're
going
sure you
on.
didn't touch my chair?
I swear to God, I didn't touch
I'm
your
gonna
chair.
leave this in
Okay.
because
I swear I did not
if
touch
you're
your chair.
watching this and our quality doesn't come out very bad like last time, and you can see my chair, you can tell me if you see anything because that really just threw me off.
I didn't. I swear I didn't.
I did not like that.
Had the set of keys contained a house key, things most likely would have ended much differently.
I didn't touch
I'm gonna
your
leave
chair.
this in.
Do anything.
Very beautiful wife. I very much worry about stuff like this.
Oh, so scary.
This all took place while a house owner was home and sleeping, but luckily the set of keys note is that someone's heavy object can be seen weighing down his front pocket. It's not clear what this is, and more importantly, it's not clear who this man is. The mask would ultimately make it impossible for police to identify both the man's identity and his intentions.
I hate that mask.
Oh, I like just stick with ski masks, please.
Um,
Like if you're gonna go out
Or,
and do
or
weird stuff
let's
like
stick with
this,
not doing this stuff.
yeah, well,
I mean,
absolutely.
just throwing it out there. There's definitely something in that pouch though in the front,
Yes.
and I love that the commentator said that at some point he's probably career criminal.
Yeah.
You
He's
know,
given his fingerprints up once or
yeah, he's
twice.
probably been to jail.
Yeah.
He's probably going back.
Mm.
Keep it up, buddy.
And the lady ran out in the street and yelled at him.
Hey, she's a baller.
Good for her.
She's boss.
Yeah. Boss babe.
In July of
Oh, I know this one.
2021,
Me
We
too.
know this
Amanda
one.
Yep.
Noack updated her Facebook with an alarming video. She took this video from her Ring doorbell as she set in for sleep. Someone rang her doorbell. She checked the app, only to see a man with gray hair and a full-grown gray beard presently knocking on her door and ringing the bell. Amanda didn't recognize this man,
It's not me.
so she ignored the knocking, but the stranger didn't leave. As well as knocking, he kept repeating he wanted to talk to her and had questions for her.
Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you.
They very much have this edited in a weird way.
What do you mean?
That's not his voice. They have the voice changed. He sounds like a cartoon character.
I mean, yeah, but
It's
I'm
not his
trying to
voice.
think
I've
of when
seen
we
this.
saw it before.
I have seen this video so many times. That is not his voice. But
I wonder why they did that.
regardless, this I remember. It was not long after this we got a ring cam,
Yes.
or
it
we at
was.
least started talking about getting one
Yep.
because this was terrifying, and this video went around so much that it was just hard not to see. If anybody
Yeah.
watching this hasn't seen this, I would be very surprised
Yeah.
because this is a very popular one.
And like we since we got the ring cam and we do have one on our front door,
I never
we
see
want to get
anything.
one. We want to get one on like
see
the garage
Walmart.
side too. But
I'd
we
like to see
did
the
have
lady
we
whose
did,
dog keeps pooping in my rocks.
yeah, we did have those 3 guys that came up at like 9 o'clock at night, and like we have a lot of people stop by and
And ask you,
talk.
do you have a moment to speak about our Lord and Savior?
Yes, that we have a lot of that here. Not so much anymore, but
I wonder
we
why.
had they it was like 9 o'clock and they just kept knocking and knocking and knocking and it was just super weird and we ignored it and they finally went away, but it was weird. I don't know.
The only other weird thing I could think of was the kid.
Oh my god, that was kind of creepy though.
That was super creepy.
It was, yeah.
A little kid asking if we had kids and wouldn't make eye contact, and just it was very, very strange.
And like the whole time she came up like to the door, she was looking like this.
You have to speak into your microphone.
It was weird. It was so weird.
It was very creepy. We played it back about 1,000,000 times to see what color her
Yeah.
eyes were, because if you know, then you know the legend of the black-eyed children,
That's right.
which is odd too because we had just done an episode, 2
Yeah,
episodes on it, and
literally
they say not to talk
like
about
a
them,
few weeks before, and
and
then
they
this little creepy kid showed up on the doorstep.
and they say just like them in Skinwalkers, you don't talk about them.
I mean, she didn't ask to come in, so
No, but we didn't really give her an
better.
opportunity either.
But no, that's very
Right.
true. It was very weird.
It was very weird.
Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? What? Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you sure? Are you absolutely certain?
When she was home alone, she called her husband to tell him what was happening and called 911. So Amanda's husband accessed the camera from his phone and saw the man. Ignoring him wasn't doing the trick, so he decided to talk to him using the speaker.
Who are you? What? Yeah? Are you sure? Who are you? Hey, I just had a couple questions. I just wanted to ask you about TV show. Yeah, can you hear me? What I'm looking for is the girl that's in the house to come out here because I'm going to take her in.
What do you say to that?
I don't know. It's the husband talking. What do you say to that?
I will.
My
I'm
God.
gonna have to edit that out now. I can't believe I just said that.
I know.
It's YouTube.
What?
I'm gonna give him a stern talking to.
Oh, you Sonny.
Get off my lawn.
That is terrifying.
This is what made this video so terrifying,
Yeah.
though, because usually people show up on these things and they're like, "Yeah, we're
Like,
here to
no, it's all
we're here to
good.
fix your sink," or they always have some
Trying to sell you solar or something.
or ask you if you have a moment to speak about our Lord and Savior. But this is much different, and you can tell now they change the voices, right?
Yes, I can.
Just need to know I'm right every once in a while.
And I just want to knock on the door again. All right.
After threatening the woman in a stone-cold tone, he's gone. He doesn't even seem scared off. He just leaves. As the man calmly walks away, he continues to talk to himself down the street. Amanda was terrified, but she feared this man might move to another house and hurt someone. So she took the creepy footage and posted it on Facebook. And it was thanks to this Facebook post that this man was arrested.
Maybe we don't say her name.
Yeah, let's not
I wanna
do that.
I
And do you think he's influenced in any way
I do, but
by taking things?
I wanna point something out. Did you see how, like, perfectly lined his beard was?
Yeah,
So he's not just like
some homeless guy.
but I think he was. That's the thing. I kind
Really?
of remember this, and I think they said that he was, like, some homeless guy.
Mm.
But his beard was on point. I mean, he's a creep, don't get me wrong, but, like, I just
So scary.
found that weird that he didn't I don't know, he doesn't like, he obviously looks crazy because of what we just saw, but
Well, yeah.
he doesn't look like if you passed him on the road, he looks like half the people we knew in Florida.
I don't know. It's absolutely terrifying. It's
It's
so
insane.
scary.
It is insane.
So scary.
So we did our best, Miss Teresa, but
Yes.
this is what came up when I searched for Ring Cam Paranormal, and I don't know.
That's what we got.
It's very interesting though.
Yeah, we looked through a few, but a lot of them are just a couple minutes long. So
tell
we
you
tried to look for, a little bit
Some
longer of a
things I
video for you.
learned about this was don't try to rob people. Don't dress in a clown outfit. Stop buying stupid masks. Stop trying to say you're the police. By all means, be nice to the ladies when you go to their house.
Yeah,
Is that too much to ask
all
for?
those things.
Be nice to them. They want to be gently loved.
Stop.
I'm just saying.
Stop it.
He was rude. He was very rude. But anyways, this is I think this is going to be about where we're at. These are fun. I do like doing
I
these
do too.
reactionary videos. I don't know how many of them we're going to end up doing, but we'll sprinkle them in here and there. But if you think you might enjoy us being us, I don't know why they would, but if you do, check out our podcast, For the Booze podcast. And we're obviously, if you're on the channel, look through the videos because we post them on here now as well. You can either watch it or listen to it anywhere podcasts are found.
That's right. And this video was requested by one of our Patreons.
Yeah, Miss
so if you're
Teresa.
interested on going over there and becoming
support.
one of our Patreon members to help us out,
Because if
Yeah.
the video looks bad, it's because my laptop is 10 years old. So if you'd like to help remedy that, like, subscribe, comment, and join the Patreon.
all the things.
Or just keep watching it in all of its pixelated glory. But I'd say this is where we're going to sign out.
I think so too.
We will catch you on the next one, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. What's up, guys?
Hi.
Welcome to the first video from For the Booze podcast. If you
Yes.
don't know who we are, we're a podcast and we talk about haunted locations and, paranormal investigation teams. And I got to ask you, though, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of like televised paranormal stuff?
Like the first show?
Yes, like the first show.
Ghost Adventures.
What is the worst thing that comes to mind when you think about paranormal shows?
Ghost Adventures.
Obviously, right? It's like it's something that we have always indulged in ourselves.
Yes. Over the years.
we can't help it.
Over the years. It's we kind of watch it for laughs now.
It's really gone downhill.
It has, for sure.
But we reached out to our Patreon members and we kind of gave them first choice of videos, and they want Ghost Adventures. If you go back and listen to our show, though, you'll see that it's the first
ever podcast episode.
First episode we ever did was Ghost Adventures. And we're not going to be watching the very first episode of Ghost Adventures today, but we are going to watch kind of a greatest moments clip.
Maybe be able to see like a progression of the show from the beginning to the end, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know exactly how long of a period it spans, but I do know that it's going to be everything we could ever hope from the greatest paranormal investigator of all time, Mr. Zach Baggins himself.
Yes, that is correct.
So what do you say we get into it?
I say, let's introduce ourselves.
Oh,
we didn't do that.
All right. Well, it's the first video. I've never made a YouTube video.
I know. This is our first one, so bear with us. We may change.
We're For the
over
Booze
time.
Podcast. All right. Are you ready?
We
now?
are For the Booze Podcast. I am Megan.
I'm Steve. Can we watch the video now, Mom?
We are husband and wife.
Yeah, we're
if you
married.
have not caught on to that.
yeah, you'll get a lot of this kind of stuff. I'm excited though, because I really want to watch this video.
Me
I
too.
don't want to. I'm going to be real with you guys. Look, I'm trying to portray myself in a nice light here. I hate Zach Baggins, but
We do.
it is what it is. And Zach, I mean, if you ever watch this, I don't hate you. Give me some tickets. I want to come out to your museum.
We live closer now.
Actually, it's something like a 3-hour drive.
I know. It's not far.
So,
Okay, let's do it.
oh, can we do this now? Let's get into this right now. For the years, he's changed so much.
He has, for
Where-
sure.
In the earlier episodes, it really feels like he believed. I mean, he probably still does to a certain extent. But
Yeah.
in these earlier episodes, he really seems like he's hunting the paranormal.
Yeah, like he truly cares and he, thrives on being an actual paranormal investigator.
Exactly.
Whereas now,
Now it's more about making Aaron's life hell.
yes, and having the most things happen to him more than anyone else around.
At 6:40 a.m. 6:40.
I mean, I'm not tall. Why? Don't adjust your screens. I am this fat. But you know this is old when you see Aaron Junkie
Yes, and
Which-
Nick's on here.
and Nick. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, that's another good indicator. But
We miss Nick.
who doesn't? But I'm not, putting Aaron down in any way, because this is
Right.
by far my favorite version of Aaron
100%.
that we ever had on the show.
Yes.
Aaron's still a great guy, don't get me wrong, but there was something about he had like an innocence about him back then,
Yeah.
where I remember he wouldn't do certain investigations because they clashed with his religious beliefs.
Yeah. He would step away from investigations and
Yeah.
stuff, and now he does every single one.
Anytime Zach would try to do anything that remotely like went against anything in a religious aspect, Aaron was out.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of you watching, you know this, but I just
If
want to throw that
anybody-
out there.
Yeah, if anybody's into the paranormal, you absolutely know the show, you know the people, and if you don't, we're here to go over it with
Then
you.
here you go. I don't know how you've missed it over the last 20 years, but
Yeah.
Come on, Mr. Boots. You're the guy everybody's saying not to mess with. Nobody's ever challenged you before, huh?
what do you think Zach would have done had a ghost run out at him?
At this point,
Yeah, at this point.
probably turned around and ran.
He has, hasn't he, in the past?
Yeah,
I'm pretty
absolutely.
sure we've seen episodes where
Yeah.
he has completely just got out of there. But it's a far cry from how he is now, because nowadays he tries to be, I hate to say it, but he tries to be a psychic and he's not.
Yeah.
And it's so much different how much more he is investigating versus fabricating. I also still believe that there's a part of me that thinks that at some point there may have been a producer around the corner making noises for them, but that's just me.
I mean,
I'm a
we-
believer.
We talk about this a lot on our show, and it's a TV show. So
Ratings.
if nothing happens,
You have to have ratings.
how many people are gonna watch if
Nobody.
absolutely nothing happens?
Nobody.
And nobody. And as people who believe in the paranormal, and all of you watching may or may not believe in the paranormal, you know, or we like to think and well, kind of know that nothing happens constantly. Like
No,
there
well,
isn't
ghosts
always
don't
something
perform.
around the corner that's always making
Ghosts
noises.
aren't doing performances on command.
Right.
It doesn't happen. You don't do it. You, me, her.
Nope.
Nobody's going to do that. So it's odd that we would think that a spirit of a human would do the same.
Yeah.
So,
Oh no, absolutely.
but I would just love for one time for Zach to catch a full-bodied apparition and for it to just run
Oh my
right
God.
out of him, because he would definitely, he would. I'm
I
trying
know I would.
keeping it family friendly, but you know what I'm trying to say.
This corner, there's the body of a young girl who Mr. Boots murdered.
This is where you killed this prostitute.
I like the
that
way
was
you said
laying right
murdered.
there in the corner. Are you looking at me in my face? Because you know what they said not to do? Shine a light in your face. Am I shining it in your face right now? Do you not like this? I want you to make a noise or do something and tell me that you don't like this. Are you here, Mr. Boots? Because you're the one they say to tax people really quick. Reading out of 2. Are you touching him? Right after I ask, are you here, Mr. Boots? We caught this unexplained ball of light move from Mr. Boots' room and disappear near my neck.
Question.
Okay.
How do you feel about orbs?
I honestly don't know.
I don't either. I
I-
think a lot of what is captured on camera is
Bugs.
dust, you know,
It's-
just things floating through the air. However,
There have been some.
yeah,
There have been some that I've seen that kind of look legit, but for the most part, I'm pretty skeptical.
Yeah.
It's like orbs, psychics, demons. I'm just
and like the orb thing, especially being dust or bugs or whatever, like bugs you can normally tell because they kind of move on their own, but like dust, and it's so hard to debunk. That's the thing.
I mean, is it though? We just assume that because it lights up on a camera, it's an orb. But I actually think
Yeah.
debunking it's easier than what people let on, because in most cases, I feel anyways, you can tell. You can tell like what a bug looks like when it's like zipping by a camera. Like you
Right.
can tell, or even a piece of dust. Like it takes a lot. There's a lot of criteria to really make an orb considered an actual orb. It has to be free floating. It has to be moving in an unnatural direction. It has to
Mhm.
be emitting its own light. But the problem is we catch most of these orbs in IR camera,
Yeah.
and everything lights up in IR
Right.
is the issue. So
And I think it like makes everything kind of not distort, but not look
it kind of does.
completely, you know, like a normal natural camera would.
Yeah. So there's a real gray area there for me, especially when it comes to orbs, because it takes a lot for me to consider something a paranormal orb versus a piece of dust or like a bug or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Oh my God! It's up to a 10. It's up to a 10.
Throughout history, many cultures have been plagued by versions of the Zozo demon. In the last decade, there have been multiple reports of spirit boards spelling out the name Zozo. Z-O, 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 back and forth. We're here in Oklahoma City to investigate a house where Zozo was unleashed through a spirit board.
Hi, Darren. Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
Good.
How are you?
After Darren Evans contacted Zozo through a spirit board in this house, he and his family were terrorized. He has since dedicated himself to educating the public about Zozo.
Who do you think Zozo is? I think it's an ancient force. I believe it's demonic. There's the Mayan cult of Zotes. There's the Zo
Do you
people of
remember
Burma.
the whole
There's
Zozo
the Voodoo
craze?
connection
I
where
do.
Zo actually means
Yeah,
shaman
it was
in
big.
ancient West African
There's
Buddhism.
so many different.
There's so many connections, and it's always very evil.
Dun, dun, dun.
Zozo the
Did
demon.
Zozo possess you?
I think so. I've had some really bad things happen to me. Bad things have happened to people that have been around me after getting off the board.
It's real, isn't
I
it,
don't think
Darren?
that necessarily means you're
Oh, it's real.
possessed.
I don't know. I don't even know what
As
to
we
add
were
to that.
setting up for Darren's
The
interview,
demon
I
thing just
discovered
seems like
his
such an
wife,
easy thing to
Kathleen,
throw out
pacing
there.
the street outside the house. She told me she's very uncomfortable being here because of what this house did to her husband 4 years ago.
the person that was looking at me was not Darren. It was this evil entity.
Coming through him.
Yes. And I believe it was Zozo.
You believe it was who?
Zozo. I really believe that my husband was possessed by this demon.
After an emotional discussion, Darren and Kathleen decide to go back in together.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. You sure, Darren? You want to do this?
Let's do it.
Can we go pray first?
There's a stairway. It makes weird noises when you walk up and down it, and we would hear those noises all the time, and there'd be nothing there. And this happened all the time. What was that?
I heard that.
What was it? This happened all the time. This happened all the time. This happened all the time. What was that?
You hear that?
Yep.
It sounded like footstep upstairs.
That's
It
what
sounded
I
like
thought
a
it
bang
was.
upstairs. Was it upstairs?
Yeah, it sounded like it was. I was upstairs in the safe room, I called it, because there were times I would be so scared I would actually have to sleep in what we call the safe room. And I heard my daughter scream, and she was down here, and I saw her at the bottom of the stairs get lifted and carried off her feet. I bolted down the stairs as quickly as I could, and by the time I turned the corner, she was gone, and I could hear her in the basement screaming.
Did this demon pick?
This has always been an issue for me, is like they hear the noise, they hear the footstep, but then they don't do anything. So I
Yeah.
don't understand why they even bother to point it out.
Right.
You know, if I heard a footstep during an investigation, I would go see where it came from.
I mean, he kind of did,
Not really.
but not really, because
They said it was
something else
upstairs.
No, because he went to look, and then the footstep came after from
Well,
upstairs.
that's what I'm saying. They heard the cha-chang sound,
Yeah.
walked into like the kitchen, then they heard a footstep, and then they hung out there until they had to go upstairs to investigate
Yeah.
finally. Why wouldn't you immediately go up there? That's the whole point of why you're there.
Right. Absolutely.
What are you doing?
Hello?
I don't get it.
Hello?
Watching the show makes me mad.
Yeah. It's frustrating. It really is.
Pick her up and take her down to the basement?
Something did.
We are long afar across the ocean, and we are getting ready to get locked down inside this massive castle. Just kidding. I'm not across the ocean. I'm right here in America.
Yes, you are.
This is Manresa Castle in Port Townsend, Washington. It is a real castle.
In Port
It has the
Townsend,
dark
Washington.
history of a castle. It
So
has the
bad.
ghosts of a castle, and it's about to have the appropriate paranormal investigators.
I almost
to
forgot
find
we were
those
watching a
ghosts
clip
and talk to
show.
them.
Yeah, where it like jumped from one to the other. Yeah.
I was like, man, that's a big difference.
I heard that.
I did too, but it's because the TV told me to.
That's true. Pareidolia is real.
Yeah.
Someone down here?
What's that?
What is that?
That's this way.
What was that?
That
Did you
way.
hear
It
it?
sounds like it's from the hallway back here.
It's just a high-pitched squeaking noise.
Like a door opening.
Yeah, exactly.
This is creepy.
Yeah, it is.
I think anywhere is creepy in the dark.
I want to bring up a good point. You said Pareidolia, and there's a really good video. If you guys have never heard of them, which I'm sure you have because you're watching us, from a group called the Ouija Brothers. And years back, they did some kind of investigation where they picked up an EVP, and they were actually able to replay the EVP along with the visual part of the investigation. And what it was is it was a water drop that in the echo made it sound like, and it really did sound
Because
like
they were
a
in like a
voice.
cave or something.
It was
right?
something like that. I
Yeah.
can't, it's been a long time since I've watched
Yeah.
it, but it really shows you how the littlest things that happen around you, like in the atmosphere, they can come through as voices. It's because there's a lot of white noise in like the audio recording. It distorts the sound and makes it sound like it's saying something else.
Right.
And it's something to keep in mind. That
Yeah,
not
and-
every EVP is an actual EVP.
Yeah, and they've done like studies too where like, you can hear something, but you read something, say on a screen, like saying what the EVP says, but then they play the same sound with completely different text.
Well, and we put this to
on the
test on
screen.
our podcast
We did.
all the time because
Yeah.
if we can find them, we will play EVPs from a location that we've talked about at the end of the show, but I won't let Megan see what, they're saying that it
Mhm.
says. And 80% of the time, you either don't hear it or you hear something completely different.
Or you hear a noise and you just like, I don't know what it said.
Yeah.
So,
It's
but
a lot of pareidolia
he hears it because he reads it on
because
the
I'm
screen.
reading it, but I fully acknowledge that. Like, I know
Yeah.
that's what's happening.
Right.
So
And we are in no way paranormal experts. We are
No.
just
We're just-
paranormal enthusiasts.
we're armchair experts. That's all we are.
Sit down at one of these tables. All right, we're coming back where you like to throw a lot of stuff.
Zach, just so you know, when you were asking for it to make sounds in the kitchen, it made 2 loud bangs in the basement.
Use the energy right now.
It's almost as if when Zach asked them to make a noise in the kitchen, they're making noises in the basement.
Let's go back.
This is where a housekeeper told us that she was violently attacked and had the handprint of a child on her leg and also got punched in the face down here.
Next thing I know, I felt a punch in my face.
You like attacking women?
I feel like
bruising them?
that's
and
not a good thing for
punching
Zach
them in
to
the
say.
face?
I am with the lady. I would not want
All
a
right, who's
handprint on
coming
my
down
leg.
there right now? Do what you did to that lady to him.
We're
If you're
married.
down here, I need you to make a noise. And whatever that noise is, I'll walk to, I promise. The is that, dude? Bro, I just saw it look like someone under the stairs looking at me on my eyes. That would have been the height of a kid. What if it's the kid? All right. Hold on. Bill, go in the hallway, quick. Someone's walking right down the hallway right now.
See if there's somebody in the hallway, Bill.
Someone's walking right above us.
No, there's nobody up here.
Go quickly.
Right.
Yeah, there's nobody in the hallway.
Very
Is
distinct
this the same
footsteps.
spirit that we heard open a door in this area earlier?
What's that?
What is that?
Aaron, go into that laundry room where she got attacked.
Something that we know, because we just moved across the country. We went from a Florida house, which is, if you live in Florida or you've been in Florida, the majority of houses are one story.
Mhm.
To we moved out west, and we now live in a multi-floor home. And the one big thing that I can say about that is when our air conditioning or our heating system kicks on, it like unleashes a litany of bumps and sounds, and
The first time was very
it was unsettling.
we were
I had a hard time sleeping.
it sounds like footsteps and floor creaks and like
It does. It
the
sounded like
house
somebody was trying to come through the
settling
back door.
and stuff all together all at once.
So
And it was just very creepy.
when I hear a lot of these like footsteps and bumps and little noises, my brain automatically goes to, I mean, it happens in our home.
Right.
So
And this is a mansion that
it's an old house. It's an old castle.
that, floors, everything happens naturally. Things happen, they settle, to me, sounded like footsteps. However, you get like the one footstep.
It also
or,
sounds like when our heat comes on.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, it makes the same sound.
Yeah.
It's to the left there, left of that camera.
Are you coming?
I'll be in there in a minute. Go in.
Shh. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It's out here in the hallway. I mean, look.
Whoa! Stop! I just heard a girl giggle, bro. Did you hear that? I swear to God.
I heard it.
I did hear that too.
That's all cement. Dude, I heard a kid.
Cement.
There's somebody in there.
We just want to talk.
If you're watching, like and subscribe.
Somebody back there?
That's how pitch dark it is in here.
Oh.
Hello, can you speak? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. There's somebody back here. Wait, did you hear that?
Yeah, it sounded
Like a woman?
It sounded weird.
That's it, talk. Do a burst session.
We both hear a woman's voice in the distance, but our camera's audio doesn't capture it.
This is like the first clip that's almost impressive to me because it is completely silent in that house.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing running, and then you hear that noise. However, I'm also going to play devil's advocate here because it's an old house. Somewhere it's cold. Little critters are trying to get in.
Yeah.
Who's to say it's not a mouse?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a cat? Do they have something? So everything can't be paranormal.
Right.
But I will, like I said, this is the first thing that I've seen that is like, okay, there, maybe go check that out.
Yeah. And I feel as far as the voice too, where like you could hear something in person, but the audio doesn't pick it up. I feel like that's going to happen more often than not.
Are you talking about the little girl giggle?
When, no, they said they heard a woman's voice at the end of the
Okay,
hallway
alright.
after that clank or whatever at the new place that they're on, apparently. Like, I feel like that would happen more often than not. Voices not being captured, especially on like camera audio, unless it's like right near the camera. I think EVP recorders tend to pick up more things.
I want to point out too that there was that little girl laugh
Mhm.
that was added in.
It sounded way too clear.
That is
way too clear.
very digital. It's added in. Ridiculous.
So we decide to use the high sensitivity of our digital recorder's microphone in an attempt to capture her voice.
Can you continue to speak? Can you tell us who you are?
Do you hear a heartbeat? Hear the thumping?
A car or something? Yeah, I hear a car spewing out.
Upon immediate review of our EVP session, listen very closely. As Aaron and I are discussing the distant sound of a car, a mysterious voice repeats what I'm saying, and then moments later, another faint voice comes through and says, "Demon."
Do you hear demon?
I don't. I hear see them.
I don't hear anything.
I do. I do hear something. It's like it's very faint, very low, like definitely a male sounding voice. But to me, it doesn't sound like demon. It sounds like see them, like they're talking about a car.
Does this say semen?
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like it says semen.
And there was something like that, and then he
I hope it's not what I think. Why did you say demon?
See them.
If you're a demon, then why was it such a little whisper? Why wasn't it demon?
What's your name?
It's back here. Is there someone in that back hall? If so, bang on the wall. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Female voice?
Sounds just like what we heard earlier.
Female voice.
This is getting frustrating. Aaron and I hear the female voice yet again, but it's not captured on our audio. We start to wonder if the deeper male voice is preventing this female spirit from communicating with us. So we decide to use our SB7 spirit box to see if we can reach her.
Whoa, 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 whoa. There's the vibe just got bad. When you turn that on, I can just feel like I'm cornered. I'm just like crowds again, but there's no voices. There's nothing. There's nothing. Whoa! Yeah, dude, that's the woman we just heard with our own ears. That was her.
Right as Aaron and I are talking about no voices coming through, you can clearly hear an unknown female voice.
It's just like crowds are around this, but there's no voices. There's nothing. Whoa! Look, we're sorry we got excited, but you gotta understand we can feel a lot of intense energy. Are you right next to us? Oh my God!
I don't know
Aaron
how I
and
feel
Billy are
about all of
sensing
these
that they're not
devices.
alone in the nursing home.
They know we're here, Aaron.
There's very few that I think are actually trustworthy.
I
Well,
agree.
because a lot of them, more stuff that can be verified, if you go on to YouTube, is it Kenny Biddle, I believe.
I think that's who it is. Yeah.
Somebody has videos. I'm pretty sure it's him, so look him up. But they have videos that will debunk almost all of this stuff.
Yeah.
There's very few things like
There's certain ones that like get interference from other things
Yeah.
than other ones do.
You're
or
thinking of
don't.
walkie-talkies and REM pods. That's a
Correct.
thing.
Yes.
I know that I forget the serial number of it, but it's one of the recorders that a lot of paranormal investigators like to use. It grabs sounds that aren't really there.
Distorts them to
Yeah.
kind of sound like other things,
yeah.
voices, whatever.
But there's like you could trust a
I don't know what you're trying to say. The apps, any of the apps, it's okay. It's okay. Any of the apps I'm not down with.
Temperature thermometer.
A digital like
No,
thermal.
the thermal, whatever that thing. And I don't know why I can't think of it right now. I'm probably kind of tired. It's late. But there's like that, an EMF reader, because it's not necessarily paranormal.
Right.
You know, it's an EMF reader. It's just reading EMF.
Mhm.
You know, I used to really love spirit boxes. Unfortunately, they're not being used right.
Yeah.
They could be a tool,
Mhm.
but most of the time you hear them, they're going slow. You're picking up radio stations.
Right.
I don't think Casey Kasem, I don't think he's your conduit for the undead.
America's Top 40.
Oh, Casey Kasem.
I think like SLS cameras,
I don't like it. So
I don't like it. It's basically an Xbox edition.
It is.
Like the Kinect.
And they've also Kenny Biddle again
Debunked it.
has a video where he shows you that they are very easily faked.
Yeah, and like it could triangulate, the back of your chair, the back of my chair,
Anything.
and make it look like a person as long as it has, I think it was 3 points.
Yeah, I think it's 3 points. All these things are debunkable anymore.
Mhm.
And not to say that none of them work, but they're all debunkable, which means like some of them could really work,
Right.
but they can also really be faked.
That's true. And people like continually try to make new devices and stuff like that as well. And I'm all for the innovation of it, but I don't trust it.
I don't know if I'm even up for the innovation anymore. I think it's just like you either catch it on camera or you don't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see where it goes from here.
They know we're here.
I just heard footsteps upstairs. You think someone's in the building? Let's go. Let's go.
That sounds like a wolf.
It's not a wolf.
Did you hear it?
I heard it. Oh, that freaked me out.
Hey, like it sounded like an animal snorted.
Okay, let's go.
Is there someone up here?
Hello?
Did it just say
It just said Nick. That's
we
the guy
interviewed-
they always ask for.
The Ovilus is another one I don't
a
trust.
man named
Yeah.
Nick who is extremely affected by an
Pre-programmed
entity
words.
that occupies this building.
All of a sudden, my wrist was just grabbed.
This entity is trying to tell you something. It's trying to
Communicate something.
to you.
And that guy Nick is here all the time.
All the time. He
All the
says
time.
he always gets his name on stuff. He's
Right.
always asked for.
First name that comes up on the list when we're here.
Right. Bam.
They're familiar with him.
He told us that you'd be asking for him. He said you would ask for his name, and you did. Or you would say his name.
What the hell?
Send. Send. Send who?
Send it.
You leaving.
Did it just say
Oh!
Nick again?
Just said his name.
God.
How do we know it's not Nick? Nick?
The entity?
Right.
I usually
Nick
don't
from the
provoke
show.
at all.
It's like,
Usually,
hey,
but
where's
you
Nick?
have.
I have.
When they just said that guy's name, it just felt like
Oh,
a
this
wave
might
of
be
energy.
later.
Right.
Yeah,
Over
I
my
haven't
back.
seen him.
Yeah.
As Aaron and Jay experienced several waves of dark energy
Aaron!
emanating from the coal room inside the Goldfield High School, they just received a disturbing clue which may point to the demise of one of its students.
Is there someone buried under the school? Spot. This is the spot?
Is a spirit coming through and telling them that this is the spot where the little boy was killed in the coal room? Or is it telling them they need to find the spot where many say a little girl was killed and buried?
This is the spot where the kid got killed?
That's loud.
Yeah.
We haven't been hearing that either. It's been windy. Female? This is female?
This is female.
Buried? Female?
Yeah.
It's talking.
Information?
Dude, it's giving us information about the girl. Put it together.
Yeah.
It's talking about the girl that was supposed to be buried under the ground.
Aaron and Jay now feel this information is specifically regarding the young female who is said to have been killed and buried here on this property.
I always like when they do use the Ovilus. It's always like they create a story.
I was gonna say the same thing.
It's so bad. You could throw out anything and they can build any narrative off of it.
Spin any kind of story they want around like one word.
It
One
is
word.
ridiculous.
And so many people who paranormal investigate do the same thing.
Yeah, it's bad.
I get it. Like you want there to be a story and you want there to be, you know, some validity to the things that you may be finding.
There aren't any.
But are there?
No,
like,
there
are
aren't.
there most of the time? 99% of the time, it's probably not going to be.
Hey, shout out to anybody still in the video. We know the camera's moving. This is
Yeah.
our first video. So this is our first setup. It's going to change. Everything about this is going to change, but we just wanted to see what it was like to throw out a video.
did.
And I, at the end of this, kind of have an idea for another kind of video we can be doing.
All
So
right.
like and subscribe.
Stay tuned.
I've performed hundreds of investigations, but right now I am legitimately afraid to walk inside this door and allow myself to be surrounded by hundreds of clowns. Their evil grins, soulless eyes, and in a place where spirits are known to take their form.
I've had a guy that woke up in the middle of the night and experienced a clown in his room.
I'm not afraid to admit that I have a very real disorder called coulrophobia.
You know who else really loves clowns?
Not me.
You.
Not me. At all.
Wait till you go
whatsoever.
to sleep. Hey, you got to share a bed with me. So
I do. I had a couple friends that we went driving around in my old car, and they decided it would be funny for the kid in the back seat to bring a mask in with him. And then as I was driving, put it on, and I saw him in my rearview mirror. Didn't crash, but I did pull the car over, put it in park,
surprised
and
you didn't
reach
crash.
back and throw punches as much as I could.
I've been in the
into
car
back
with you.
seat.
Are you sure you didn't crash? Let's watch the video. I just want you to get a good look at them clowns.
I'm trying not to.
This is your man. Don't worry, Zach's here to
Do you
keep
possess these
keep you
clowns?
safe.
Can I hear you laugh? Let's hear you laugh.
They're cute.
They are not.
That.
Bye, Zach.
The life-size clown doll's left hand just moved off of its lap. I try to debunk that this was caused simply by my footsteps, but right
Oh,
here you can
absolutely not.
see me standing absolutely still while this doll's hand moves. Whether this was caused by gravity, ghosts, or this possessed doll, I don't care. I'm done.
We're gonna go to the window right now very slowly. Hold on.
We just did an episode on the Queen Mary.
See if
That's
there's
right.
a handprint that formed on. Oh my
But it
God.
hasn't come out yet.
Jay,
I
Zach.
know.
Stop telling people.
Zach.
He's a little kid up there.
His hands are out to his sides.
It's like he's balancing up there.
Somehow, some way, he's okay. Here he. Oh, he just went through the window.
I remember
Billy,
this
come in. Aaron and
episode.
Billy,
I
come
do
in.
too.
Yes, go ahead. We baited the window with candy and toys. The center one where the handprints were. I'm doing SLS. I'm shooting the windows at an angle. Nothing's happening. Standing here for 10 minutes, nothing. All of a sudden, 2 windows down, there's a little figure standing on the guardrail looking through the window. Then he disappears. He comes back, and now he's between the 2 windows. He's just standing there with his arms out. Never seen anything like it before. Then comes down a little bit and literally disappears, shoots through the window. You can see his body go through the window towards you guys at the musicians gallery. What is going on over there right now? And be very aware that he may be going over there right now.
Immediately after I radio Aaron and Billy to tell them that I just saw this little figure shoot through the
Step into
window,
action.
heading towards them in the music gallery. Aaron quickly sets out some cookies and candy. Then they begin receiving additional evidence of this child's spirit.
Billy, can you just shine your light right here? Just so I can see.
Shine your freaking light, dude.
Oh my God, female. We're setting up.
It's the second episode in this compilation that they have brought up female.
I've noticed they were really the one to push the SLS thing.
They
I
really
don't-
were.
Now that I think about it, I don't ever remember seeing it really before them. Maybe I don't think Ghost Hunters ever used it in the beginning. They may have after a while.
Yeah, I don't know timing wise. I do know that they did use it, but I don't
think they
ever
did
recall
in the
them
beginning.
towards the beginning doing anything like that because they've been around for so long that they used to have to send their evidence off.
That was different. That
to
wasn't an
be-
SLS. That was
No, I know.
video.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
yeah,
Like way in the beginning, absolutely.
yeah, because the
no.
video quality was terrible.
So bad. They had to like send it off to be enhanced and stuff.
Yep.
Remember that? It was the figure that sat
That was at
down
the
on the
prison.
walk in
Yeah,
the prison.
that was-
the catwalk.
Was it Missouri State Prison? Maybe.
Oh, I don't remember which one.
I think it was Missouri
But-
State.
I don't know. Prisons are always interesting.
I know you always like them when we cover them on the show.
I do. I really do.
Don't forget, if you like all this kind of content, check out For the Booze podcast. Anywhere.
right.
You can find us everywhere, pretty much, on social media.
We also have a Patreon that we do a second podcast
That's right.
type style hangout video, not video. Why did I
Behind the
say video?
booze. Yeah, I don't
But
know.
we do behind the
We might
booze.
start doing some videos on
It's
there.
kind of just a hangout sesh, you know?
It took us months just to figure out how to put out this, which I'm
Here we
sure
are.
isn't very good. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like this is some great stuff. This is our first video. It'll get better in time. We just got to find our groove,
That we do.
So we'll go from here.
Up here right now, this thing, and it says female as I'm grabbing the cookies. Is it supposed to be a little girl? Yeah. As we're setting up, I just have the Ovilus going and be safety, and it's a female on it, and we're wondering, are you a female kid?
Oh my God. I can see it from here.
Oh my God.
Right there and right there.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna last much longer for this.
Or one set of hands. And you can see, look, you can tell it's been wiped. There's like some streaks. Those are fresh.
This is the same window that we just witnessed the SLS figure jump through. We also know 100% that the staff here at the Titanic Museum cleaned all of the windows right before our investigation.
Then why are they so
And there's
streaky?
one down here. You see that one?
I think they'd know how to clean a window.
I feel like they're using Windex from the Titanic era.
It's like an actual fingerprint.
as Jay and I begin making our way over to Aaron and Billy to show them our new evidence. The guys continue trying to make contact with this figure who has already told them that she's a female.
How old are you? How old are you? You're kind. How old are you? There's a lot of commotion. No, what? Dude.
6? Oh
my
my God, Zach,
Dude.
come in here.
Questions we are asking right now are incredible, and they're answering all of them.
Hey, the second that you guys said switch it up and talk to the child.
And I put this on because there's no time to waste, and it basically says female. Then I ask, how old are you? And it says 6.
Are you
I'm dead serious.
Wait, what is happening right now?
This
Like the horn, maybe?
No. All right. So I remember this episode. Do you remember the one where I had to like show you they caught the demonic scream? Well, then you're in for a treat. I'm sure it's fake now with everything I know, but back when this came out, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
I don't know. if
All
I
right,
know
well, sit tight.
Okay.
We're going to watch this and you'll see.
We've all been put at risk.
Whoa, hold on.
So I
Hold
decide
on.
to head back into the house.
We were just in Eureka.
that. I just got goosebumps. That was weird.
We're going to Eureka tomorrow.
Where is this house?
I don't know. That just blew my mind.
It's such a small town. It's such a small, like,
But
old town.
But we think of Tintic, and Tintic isn't necessarily Eureka.
Right. We got to
Dude.
figure this out before we go
Dude.
tomorrow. Oh my God.
I don't even know what to say right
We
now.
will figure this out.
Oh my God.
We will figure this out and be visiting.
And as I turn on the SLS camera, I aim it at Ted while he is in the back corner of this room. And as he approaches me, an anomaly appears directly above his head, which then moves over to the right and transforms into a figure.
There's just something above your head, and now I'm getting something right next to you.
The figure now appears to start pointing at Ted, and he immediately knows which side it is standing on.
There he is again.
On my left. Yeah.
Yeah.
What came through? What is here?
What connection do you have?
What name are you connected to? I hear Zach.
That's what I'm saying.
I hear Zach.
I don't.
We are all totally unprepared for what is about to be the most terrifying audio.
Megan, now, the first time I heard this, I never even considered Ghost Adventures being fake.
Okay.
So this is honestly, it's a terrifying sound.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know if I'm ready.
I don't know how real it is, but
I don't remember this episode.
it is a spooky sound.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to prepare you. Okay.
Evidence we have ever collected.
What the? Okay. Are you kidding me right now? What was that? Never heard that. Never.
Dude,
How do you feel about that?
that is intense. Wow.
That's
like speaker breaking noise.
that is if that's
I really like
real,
that.
that's like the most intense EVP ever caught.
Wow.
It sticks with me to this day, even though in my mind I think it's not real. But I can't help it.
That sound. Oh my Lord.
It's bad.
Wow.
It is terrifying.
Oh,
I've never heard that.
I have never in my life heard of
Not too far from us.
I know.
All right, I've had about enough. I've had about enough of,
I think I have too. That was a good note to end on with a scream, you know?
Yeah, I probably would have called it sooner had that clip not come up.
Yeah.
Again, though, like I'm not convinced that it's real,
Mm.
but if it is, wow,
Yeah.
it's creepy.
Super creepy. Are you kidding me?
But
Ugh.
this is our first video. We did it.
Our first.
We did it.
Yay.
We've been trying for so long.
We have.
Now, I'm going to throw it out here now. How would you feel if we recorded our podcast on video?
I don't know, that may be doable.
I think it would give people something extra to watch, and it happens every week. So if you like podcasts, but you don't want to just listen, you need something to watch, and maybe we'll do something like in between the little breaks, where we can chill and talk
All
and
right.
answer questions.
Definitely
or,
something we can look into for
just
sure.
a little something extra. But so be on the lookout for that, and we're going to try our best to do weekly videos.
Yes, we
Our
are.
best. Now look, we have no network behind us. It's us and 2 patrons right now.
Yes.
So we will do our best to get the videos out as we can. We also do a weekly podcast every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time called For the Booze. If you like hearing about, we mostly do haunted locations, but we do have teams every now and then come on.
We do. We've done interviews, things
Yeah.
like that. If anybody watches, YouTube Paranormal, we did have
Paranormal Nightmare TV.
Paranormal Nightmare TV on. We love those guys.
We've had
And
RKB, Paranormal. We had
some of their team members separately on for another interview.
we've had a lot of people
Yeah.
that we've come across along the way.
And that's our original thing. That's our baby. We've been doing it for over 2 years now.
Almost
so
3. It's been almost 3 years now.
hop on and check us out over there.
But we promise you these videos will get better. We just don't know what we're doing yet.
We'll figure it out.
We're
It's
used to
fine.
being podcasters. We're not used to people seeing us. We're used to
Right.
people hearing us. So we promise you stick with us. Hit the like and subscribe.
That's right.
I'm going to say that.
Somewhere
It feels
down here.
weird saying that.
I know it is really
Like and subscribe. Smash that like button.
weird. Stop it right now.
Hip thrust. If you know, you know what I'm listening, what I'm watching.
Yes.
So, but we truly appreciate you joining us, and check us out everywhere else for the
Yeah.
booze.
For the booze, for the booze _ podcast.
I'm not doing our podcast
on
outro. Just
Instagram.
look up for the
and
booze.
For the booze everywhere.
All right, guys. Well, till the next one. Stay out of the priest hole.
See you later.
Computers have a funny way of vanishing around here. You look away.
Found it.
On what?
It's a Mac. You can use Find My.
What can you find yourself?
I'm going out with the girls this weekend. Nails done, outfit stunner, and my skin, I know it's gonna be glowing because I glammed up my shower routine with new Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. It smells so luxurious and deeply moisturizes with its super rich, creamy lather that's bursting with vitamin B3 complex. So my skin glows and my confidence grows. Try new Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash for glowing skin in just 14 days.
Glow with your best skin. Be confident in your TQ Plus community.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to For the Booze. Oh, that was good.
I knew I could pull it off.
I mean, I only say the same thing every week.
I know. But I wonder if anybody out there listening says it along.
That would be
Hey,
awesome
everybody,
to know.
welcome back to
For the Booze.
Go team.
Oh my God.
Anyways,
hey, everybody.
we are back.
We
And
are.
we're back on kind of a normal episode. We're talking about a place.
Yeah.
We're going back to a place.
A
And
location.
I feel like we haven't done one in a while.
I know.
I think it's actually been a while. So we are going to go back to normal. As for next week, it's looking like I'm not going to say we might be doing an interview next week. So if you like those kinds of episodes, you can look forward to that. As long as everything works out, that's what we should be doing. I'll find out soon. But anyways, this week, it's getting warm out.
It is.
It sucks.
Except
but
in the basement.
It's warm out. It feels great.
It's cold out.
It feels amazing. But I thought, well, let's travel somewhere tropical. Let's talk. Let's go somewhere where the sun shines and the beach waves are crashing. And let's head on over to Jamaica.
Hey.
We've never done a Jamaica before.
I know.
We are going to a very, very popular vacation spot called Montego Bay.
Montego
Bay, Jamaica. And we're going to talk about the infamous Rose Hall Plantation. That's right. Rose Hall Plantation, also known as, I believe it was Cinnamon Hill, I believe. Don't quote me on that. It was when Johnny Cash lived there.
Yeah.
So this place has a lot of claims, a lot of interesting stories, and a lot of different versions of the story.
Okay.
So there may be times where it gets confusing, but I will break it down at the end, and I will tell you why it's confusing.
All right.
But there's quite a bit to it, and it's in a country during a time period where they probably really didn't keep any records.
Yeah.
It's during the time of slavery in an island. I don't know. There are just a lot of different stories when it comes to this place, more than I was anticipating.
All right. Well, I'm excited.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's get the ball rolling and let's start talking about the history.
In Montego, Key Largo.
Baby, why don't we go? Don't get us copyright.
I know.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself.
And away we go. Montego Bay is the capital of the parish of St. James in Jamaica. The city is the fourth largest urban area in the country by population, after Kingston, Spanish Town, and Portmore, all of which form the greater Kingston metropolitan area, home to over 500,000 people. As a result, Montego Bay is the second largest Anglophone city in the Caribbean, after Kingston. Montego Bay is a popular tourist destination featuring duty-free shopping, a cruise line terminal, and several beaches and resorts. The city is served by Donald Sangster International Airport, the busiest airport in the Anglophone Caribbean, which is located within the official city limits. The city is enclosed in a watershed drained by several rivers, such as Montego River. Montego Bay is referred to as the second city, Mo Bay or Bay. The earliest known inhabitants of this island were the Taino from South America, who arrived on the shores in the 8th century. By the time Columbus arrived, first in 1494 and more significantly in 1502, it is estimated that the Taino population had reached around 100,000. It was the Spanish who first started importing African slaves, yet they never completely exploited Jamaica as there was a greater attraction in the riches of South America. In came the British, first ousting the Spanish by allying with lawless pirates to ensure victory. The Spanish finally fled via what is still called Runaway Bay, and later by realizing the value of sugar plantations. With the Taino population having dwindled under Spanish rule, labor was needed. So in were brought an estimated 600,000 African slaves, most of whom were bought by trading manufactured goods from Britain. Something like 1 in 5 died on the way there, the rest subjected to inhumane, brutal treatment on the plantations, where they were owned by plantation bosses. Slaves were traded like commodities. Their lives were expendable, their welfare irrelevant. The brutality and oppression suffered by the slaves is unimaginable, as is the callous way it was dished out by those in power, seeking riches. The story of Rose Hall Plantation goes as follows. Jamaica was like many of the islands in the Caribbean in that it was a slave colony. Britain took over the island in 1655, and under its rule, Jamaica became a leading sugar exporter, with a plantation economy dependent on the African slaves and their descendants. At one time, there were around 700 large manor houses on the island. Rose Hall was an impressive Georgian-style great house built around 1750 on a rising hill that gives it an amazing view of the sea. During the Slave Rebellion of 1831, almost all of the manor houses were burned down. Today, there only remain about 15. Rose Hall survived the burnings only because the slaves were too afraid of the ghostly legends and scary tales surrounding the house. Now, according to legend, Annie had moved with her family to Haiti as a child, where she learned the secrets of voodoo from her nanny. After her parents and nanny died, she moved to Jamaica at the age of 18, looking for a husband. She married John Palmer, the last owner of Rose Hall. After a few months, Annie grew tired of her husband and began to choose lovers from among the 2,000 slaves of the plantation. When Palmer caught her, he beat her with a whip. But the very next day, he was dead, seemingly poisoned. With his death began the years of terror at Rose Hall. Annie would take slave lovers, but as soon as she tired of them, she would kill them. She also regularly tortured and killed anyone who she felt was an enemy to her. She married twice more, killing both husbands to inherit their money. Annie Palmer loved the color red, the color of blood and passion. And though she never bore children, she supposedly had a portrait painted to convince people she was indeed the motherly type. Nothing, of course, could be farther from the truth. When people look closely at the children in the painting, they seem stiff and unnatural and overly posed. They possess none of the vibrancy and realism of the scarlet-clad Annie. In all likelihood, they were modeled on dolls, and here they remain wooden props in Annie's unconvincing efforts to seem human. If you find yourself walking beneath the painting, you will notice that Annie's eyes will follow you as you move, for she is still keeping watch on everything in the house as a, quote, duppy. Now, duppy is the Jamaican term for a ghost or a malevolent spirit. They can manifest in human form or in animal form. According to tour guides, Duppies often take the form of bats, so if you happen to see a bat flying low at twilight, beware. Like most people who live lives of utter debauchery and sin, Annie Palmer eventually received her karmic punishment. After dispatching of 3 husbands and instigating a reign of terror on the plantation, one of her former slaves, Taku, decided he'd had enough. Now, her undoing was falling in love with an Englishman who did not want her because he was in love with the niece of the slave named Taku, who, of course, was Annie's lover. Now, Annie killed her young rival, which angered Taku so much that he strangled her and buried her deep in a pit. He performed a voodoo ritual meant to prevent her spirit from leaving the grave, but he didn't complete it properly, and her ghost began to wander the house. Now, because of this, the house was spared burning during the rebellion because it was feared that the fire would free the ghost and allow it to wander off the plantation. Instead, the house was abandoned and remained so for about 130 years. There was one family who did try to live at Rose Hall in the early 1900s, but they were swiftly driven from the place when their maid was thrown from a second-story balcony by an invisible set of hands. Not only